welcome back, guys, after the Soccer break. From Maria, Asir, and Asmaya, we have their coordinators, so they are here, so I will give them the floor to introduce themselves. Then after we go in and hear their points from them. Can you please introduce yourself?
The truth is bitter, but it's the truth. Good greetings to you all. My name is Musa Regalo, and I am here in favor of the motion which says independence will not be celebrated.
Okay. Whenever two big elephant meets, the ground suffers. Greetings, wonderful listeners. I am Aisatu Jalo, and I am here to oppose the motion which says that independence will not be celebrated.
Wow. The same topic. Independence will be celebrated. Independence will be celebrated. After hearing from Sumaya and Asiatu, now let's hear from these two. Okay, you can go on.
First of all, I want to start with what Asia to have been saying. I want to debunk her points. She said we should honor our four leaders. But we are not honoring our four leaders by celebrating independence. We can honor our four leaders by extending their hard work. They started working to develop our nation. So they wanted us to help them and develop the nation even more. But us, we are busy celebrating them every day, making promises which are never fulfilled. The second thing she said, giving information for our future generation. Even us, we are in school learning. There are some topics which you know that we have never seen them, we don't understand. Even the teacher have never seen them. He just explains and continues. Then if they want to do this independence, then what will they tell their future leaders? They should also tell them how the independence gained, that in 18 February 1965 we gained independence, no need for them to know. To start with my points, our imports and exports. We all know that Gambia import more than exports. An example like the Jahalipacha rice irrigation, the soil of Africa, this Gambia here, the rice can feed the whole nation and remain some for export. So why not we use that rice and start feeding on that? Reason is because our farming implements. The government have sold all that is remain here, like tractors and all that we need to farm. How can someone using manpower and a hoe get the same quality and quantity of products like someone using a tractor? They are of no match. So I bet that we try to develop this, because 59 years one stadium, 59 years one university, 59 years poor medical facilities, 59 years of promising, 59 years of raping, 59 years of corruption. Because it's people like my co-debater here who will say the Gambians will celebrate independence. At the end, they will be here, get very good quality education here, and then you choose to travel to other countries, helping them there, paying tax there, and helping those people in infrastructural development while leaving the country here. And if they come back calling themselves semesters and say that we should celebrate independence, what independence are we celebrating? Under whose independence, and for what reason are we celebrating independence? It have no use here because we are still dependent. The other reason is that we as a nation here, we have a lot of corruption because our leaders themselves, they are corrupted. Nepotism is one of them, because tribalism and nepotism are backed here. Tribalism, you see during voting, the Fullers will say that I'll vote for my fellow Fuller, like Mama Kandi, they will vote for Fuller and Fuller. Wolof will vote for Wolof's this and that. That is why we are corrupted. We are not working for the peoples. And nepotism, you see, for example, there are many people who term Nusrat as the best school. There are some people going there with bad aggregates, because when the person that is bringing peoples in the school is somehow related to them, will not take peoples with good aggregate, but taking peoples that are closely related to them, bringing them in the school. That is another reason why our country is leading backwards, because we are power crops, absolute power crops. So as the Gambia, I say that we are a dependent nation, so happy dependence to Gambia, the smiling coast of Africa.
Gambia is a dependent country. But I don't think Gambia is a dependent country. Coming to your point, you said we said all the tribes. But I think I can remember there was a time the president brought a lot of traffickers here and negroes in this country. So do you think, where do you think those traffickers go? Do they fly among themselves or do they beat it out? Because you said Gambia is a corrupt country.
Because the government have already sold those tractors and all that we need, that is left by the president. They have already sold it to use for other things, and that money is I don't see any changes in us because I guess they are using it to feed their family, though they are part of our family, but they will be using that money to develop their own family because in their family they will develop what shouldn't be developed, even though it is not good because it's their family. They do whatever they want, but they always do the good for that person. You will see a teacher working for years without having a motorbike, and just someone working in the government within 3 to 4 weeks, you see the person driving in red cars and all that expensive cars because they are using our money and feeding themselves.
As I mentioned before, they are using the Gambian to enrich themselves.
Yes.
Because the poor are still remaining poor.
Yes.
And those working in the government, they are getting richer day by day.
Yes.
So I think using that money, they can using that money to enrich themselves. They can use it to develop the province. They can use it even here in the Congos. It's not that well developed because the people who the citizens, I can say the citizens are developing this nation, but not the government. So can you please give us more points why this independence should be celebrated?
Yes, but before going further, I shall like to state the meaning of independence. As I believe, introduction goes before conclusion. Independence means the state of being free from foreign powers. So, fellow opponents and wonderful listeners, who among us here like to be controlled by foreign powers? No one. So, to my co-debaters, why do you want to abolish the idea of independence celebration if the word independence celebrates itself? To get down to brass tacks, independence should be celebrated because it serves as a reminder of the struggle and sacrifices made by freedom fighters and national heroes. Without independence, the country cannot develop because independence is what really gives us freedom, and freedom is necessary for every country. Freedom gives confidence to the country's people and to its citizens. To my fellow opponents, independence celebration lead our country backward. Then how do you expect us to develop if we are not confident and free? Fellow opponent, you said we are depending on other countries and celebrating independence. I will assure you that you are talking 19 to the dozen because this independence we are debating on here is about freedom and rights. But to depend on other countries does not retard development but improve development because we have different climatic conditions, difference in natural resources, difference in technology. Now, if we do not depend on other countries, how can we survive? How? The Gambia cannot produce all what it needs. It lacks natural resources. And we depending on those countries is not visible because they are not the ones importing for us. They are not the ones exporting for us. So we are depending on ourselves because we are the one importing for ourselves and we are the one exporting for ourselves. Let's take an example. Like the Gambia want to be on our own. She stop importing, she stop exporting. How do you think the Gambia will look like? For Gambia, Gambia will look like a rough diamond. The poor Gambia will look like a rough diamond. Fellow opponent, you expect development, but you are hitting below the belt. To hit the nail on the head, independence will be celebrated because for centuries, we were first of all being exploited as in trade. We were first of all colonized. We were first of all fertilized. There have been so many genuine acts have been committed on us. We have been treated as domestic animals like puppets and donkeys. They don't even recognize us. So it is important for one to have independence because it simply means I am recognized and my dignity is recognized. I can take the lead and bring the change. Independence celebration should be encouraged because there are setbacks and challenges we have gone through as a nation. We should not forget independence celebration because it is actually what helps to make us better and what makes us to have hope for the future. So independence should not be avoided, rather it should be held. Independence is necessary for every country to build peace, harmony, proper justice, and to maintain law and order. And it brings people from diverse backgrounds together to commemorate the freedom of their country. Independence is not only helpful for development, but also for empowerment. Remember, we were under the European power, but now that we regain power, why can't we celebrate our independence like the way we celebrate our birthdays? Gambia has gained independence in 18 February 1965. Now, because how do you think that the Gambia has UTG? It is because it become a state. It is because it has a president and it gained independence. Without the Gambia gaining independence, can the Gambia have the UTG? You are talking about 59 years, one university, or one and only university. Because we gain independence, we have a first president, we have a second president, and that president was able to build and establish the UTG of the Gambia. Finally, independence is what brings liberty, as liberty has never come from the government. Liberty has always come from its subjects of it. The history of liberty is a history of resistance. Freedom is never given by the oppressor, but it must be demanded by the oppressed. I hope you are convinced that independence should be celebrated.
Alright guys, independence should be celebrated. Without independence, I don't think we have a president who will build our stadium, university, and the like. And without independence, I don't think we will be able to have our freedom. We won't be able to say we have our own country called Gambia. Because without the independence, the beauties will still will be under control of this nation. Systems. Without the independence, we will not have president to build the university. We are saying 59 years, one university, one studio, and one what? I can't remember. So do you think without that independence, we will be able to have those things?
Well, I guess my co-debater is just saying facts because she have just been looking at her paper, not saying according to her understanding, but to what she read. And I never said that the university or this. I said one university. I bet my co-debater here have never seen the University of the Gambia. It is not even that to be a qualified university. Though we have a university, but do you see the whole nation? Every day people are producing. Our population is increasing, and yet still one university. How can we all get opportunity to be in one university, just one university? I guess we need more.
But I think we have another university called USET University at GTI. GTI is now a university. Now we have USET University for Engineering. I think now we have two universities. Are we developing? We are not. We are not developing. So we are still lacking.
Yes.
We are still dependent. And I think, why do you say the Gambia is dependent? Because I think every nation depends on another country.
I don't say like we should not depend on other people's, but the way we do is too much. We have other countries that we import. I never say we should stop importing. My co-debater say that how can we stay without importing and exporting? I don't say we should not import, but reduce the way we import. We import more than we export, meaning we are spending all our resources on importation. Even though we can produce it in our country, we are using money to bring that. Just like if you are a good home science student, you don't need to go to a tailor to do that. You can keep your money and do it for yourself. So the Gambia have a lot of resources, and some people are talented, but they don't have the way to look at their talent and show it to the world. So I think before using that money to import things, we should try to do it in our country. But I don't say we should not import and export, but we should do it.
In that case, it comes to support. Like the Gambia, we are not supporting each other. Yes. To talent and other things. I think we have to go to other, like stopping exporting things. The Gambia will not value being produced in the Gambia. For example, if someone produces soup in this country and someone produces soup in Senegal, if they bring those two, you will not take the one produced in this country, you will take the one produced in Senegal. Why? Because we the Gambians, we don't value our resources. Not so. But I don't think the government is still not trying to develop the nation. I think they are doing their level best. By celebrating this independence, I don't think they are wasting their resources. They are just trying to honor those who fight for the independence, to give them respect and for them to be remembered. And the day of independence, our flag will be raised higher. The president will give out his speech and he will be listening to. Right. So what do you think? And we still celebrate independence?
Now wait, 59 years of vows, how many are fulfilled? A lesser number or maybe none is fulfilled. And we cannot honor our forefathers just by celebrating independence. We have to work for it. Every day we will do this, we will do that. You can't just pray. Even if you want to pass your exam, you can't pray and you will not study. There's no way you will do it. So Gambia,
we can honor them.
We can honor them by striving to work and let the nation, like for example, when America wants to do something, they will not ask for permission from the Gambia. Even when African countries wanted to unite, they were asking Europeans for their permission. If they want to do something, they never ask for our consent. And the soil of Africa can feed the whole of Europe and Asia. So why can't we do on our own without them supporting?
So what do you think about that?
To me, independence is not only for development, but also for empowerment. As like, what gives us freedom and confidence? It is independence. If we are not confident, how can we be able to depend on other countries or develop our country? How? We can't.
And he also talked about nepotism and tribalism, which is the heart in this country. Why this country is not developing is because of nepotism, tribalism, and corruption. And with that, I don't think the country will be developed. So, what advice do you have for the government to stop tribalism, or the nation to stop tribalism and nepotism?
What I have is that people with this tribal facts, like cis and manding this, so we should not unite, I should not vote for her. We should vote for people according to their knowledge and understanding. Like people also holding this political power, like the organs of government, the judiciary, executives, and all those ones, the legislature. You cannot just bring someone because you are closely related to the person. Even that person is an influence of corruption, because if you are invited to a place where you are not qualified, why should you accept that qualification? You know that if you go there, you can't do anything for the nation. Why not allow the young youths who are educated and can bring fresh and new ideas about how to develop our nation come forward and help in infrastructural development?
So you have when it comes to nepotism and tribalism, when it comes to independence, do you think, like when we are celebrating independence, do you think it can reduce tribalism? Because when celebrating independence, the whole nation will go to the stadium,
Yes, they will
to celebrate together. So with that, do you think it will reduce tribalism?
Yes, because all of them will come together and gather. And as we know, whenever people gather together, unity is always there. And the president will advise the country like they should come together to be one. That can only get into their minds so that they can become one and work together.
So what do you think about that?
People just gathering doesn't mean they're actually doing something. If you look at this independence, majority of the people that attend nowadays is people with political powers. Because even if you call them the meeting, they might think of maybe I should go or not go. But when it comes to independence, you see people holding political powers coming together. The president have been making vows for 59 years, which people are not hearing, because even their men have been corrupted now. They are all talking about tribalism, nepotism. I will not take this one because we are not related or we don't have this. That is why just being independent doesn't mean we are united. We are still lacking unity among ourselves.
Seriously, we are still like unity among the country. Here we don't unite. Tribalism is spoiling everything and corruption. And in your point, you mentioned about people choose Nusrat to be the best school. Like what we have some people going to Nusrat with bad attitudes. So what comes that corruption?
Nepotism. Because, like for example, the president is registering people in schools. Now there are 2 more students left to come. The other one is with aggregate 6. Like the other one can be like aggregate 20. But since that person is like their niece or their cousins or this thing, they will choose to leave the person that is having a good aggregate and bring out their cousins to show that my cousin is in one of the best schools in the Gambia and all those things. So leaving the person who is good in class and taking the other one just because they are related.
But I think corruption also is there.
Yes.
Yeah, because being honest, you should not do that. I think the time is about to. Oh, it's time? Okay, the cameraman is saying that it's almost time. So, freedom fighters should be honored, but not in the way of independence. So, not in the way of independence. So, what do you think we can do? Honor them? I asked that question before, but the answer is not that clear to me. How do you think we can still honor our freedom fighters?
If you can remember, when they were here, they were not just calling for celebration and this thing. They were trying to make us free from this colonial power. They are saying that we should celebrate independence because we are free from the Europeans. We are still not free because we still rely on them. Whatever they say, that is what we do. Like they were talking about someone who celebrates birthday. Even if you are sick, you can celebrate your birthday because you grow from one state to another. But the Gambia haven't grown. It's not growing and still looking up to celebration. So if we want to honor our forefathers, we can still celebrate. We have been celebrating for 59 years. So I think it's high time we go out and start to explore and see how to improve our country. I think that in that way we can honor them.
In that way we can honor them. Do you think that's right?
No.
Or we must still go for independence?
Yes.
With this independence, if there's a Gambians are celebrating their independence, why are they celebrating? Because they are celebrating their forefathers.
No.
Those who fight for their independence.
Because they are honoring them. They have done a lot for them. So in Day of the Independence, the national anthem, people come together and sing. So they pray for them. In that manner, they are returning a favor to them.
Okay. You said, like, the topics we learn in school, we haven't seen them. So what we learn in school is not being practiced, or we have not seen it in the language.
Like some of the topics that we do in school, I think that even the people haven't seen.
Topics like what?
Topics like nothing about these forces and energy to do practical in it magnets. For example, during this science, like for example, some schools, we don't even have this science lab and all those things. So they just talk in class, you mix hydrogen, oxygen, this and that. When we don't have anything like that. Yes, then meaning if that person graduate from that stage, they will not remember that anymore, because something that you do and you see, you will never forget that thing. But something you learn, you can forget it easily. But because some people just study for exams.
We don't realize what we learn. So that's what you mean. Okay, guys, time begin. You should see. You make a see. Those in my refugees that you have not seen the next Saturday, inshallah. The time is already enough, and I will also this program it will end here. So I will give the opportunity to my invitees or my guests to say their final words or to say goodbye to the viewers.
Honestly, it was good, but I will say that the Gambia, we have celebrated now 59 years of independence. So now I guess it's right time we start to develop our nation instead of being like saying the smiling coast of Africa have been the dependent nation. Thank you.
Smiling coast of Africa has been. So we are not the smiling coast of Africa.
We are the smiling coast of Africa, but seeing the smiling coast of Africa being dependent is actually the front face of
We are
Africa.
depending on other countries and we are not smiling. Because I think if we are not happy, we will not be smiling. So we are sick. Can you give us your final word?
Okay, thank you for listening attentively. What I have for you is that we should encourage in celebrating independence, because with independence today we are here. We have our rights and freedom. So let's not try to ban independence, but improve independence. Thank you.
Okay, guys, the topic was very interesting. Independence will be celebrated. And if you want to give your points, you can write it on the comment section so that you will know whether you are for the motion or against the motion. Because let's say the Gambia is a state country, the Gambia is dependent. But still, they insisted and said we should celebrate independence. Gambia is not a state country. Most of the countries are also depending on other countries. Like we need something from Senegal and Senegal also need something from us in return. So the things go vice versa. I think we should work hand in hand with other countries in order to develop our nation. Being dependent on other countries doesn't mean that we are lacking behind, because we need something from them in order to develop ourselves. And please, this advice goes to government. They say stop enriching yourself and making us poor. Though we vote for you, we select you so that you can come and develop our nation. But we don't vote for you or choose you so that you can enrich yourself and make us poor. We are getting poorer day by day. We don't have nothing to do. So in this case, I will say goodbye to you and see you next Saturday, inshallah. The same venue, the same TV, Jimala TV, the best TV. We are giving this opportunity to the students to give out their mind, to talk about what is in them, and also to give us ideas on how to develop this nation. Because I don't think only adults or only the government can develop this nation. So everybody is here to speak his or her mind so that the country will move forward. See you guys next Saturday, inshallah. Bye.
Alright guys, after having the students' viewpoints, now I invite their teacher. So they are here with their teacher, Mr. Henry. Mr. Henry, greetings to you.
Greetings, thanks for this opportunity. I'm a teacher in Bright Star School and also a coordinator of the press club, which is here to represent the school. So this is the press club, and this is not the whole number. This is just a section of the press club, and I am also a coordinator, and we also have other coordinators as well who are able to come, because we all can come here. So thank you for this opportunity.
Alright, you're welcome. So in this school is located at where?
The school Bright Star is located in Olilu.
Oriental. It's a private school, right?
Yeah, it's a private school.
Okay, so you see your students, they did well with the debate. Independence shouldn't be celebrated. So what do you think?
Anyway,
Just to highlight on what they have been discussing. Yeah, that's why I have this interview with you, just to highlight on what they were discussing about the points. So you can just highlight it.
of course, I think I would love to be neutral in this aspect.
Okay.
Yeah, because in as much as we are celebrating independence, it's important, and then if you also reflect as a Gambian, looking at the way things have been going for 59 years, I think it, to some aspects, you can say independence, there's no need to celebrate, or there should be a manner in which we should celebrate, rather than going and gathering all the time, as the debaters have rightly put it, that spending all those millions in celebration of independence, while it's just few Gambians who are in attendance of that event, only the politicians, those mighty ones, the powerful. Okay, while Gambians, it is a national event. Well, if you see, it is just a fraction of the citizens that are in attendance. The poor farmers in Kuntaur, the poor people in the provinces cannot even have the message that the president is delivering there. Some of them have radios, they will not have radio signals to listen to the program or to be in attendance. Some of them have TVs, they could not. Others do, there are those that do not even have TVs, and there are those that are on empty stomachs. So these people are never part of the celebration, rather it's just for a few. Okay. So this money could have been used for other things. And also it's important to be celebrated. Okay, 100 people doesn't mean we should go and gather and then have a jamboree. We can honor them by building on the things that are behind. I'm pretty sure they won't be happy to see us celebrating where we have deviated from the path that they have left us in, the likes of Sardauna, Edward Francis Small. It is good that we reflect on the ideas that have developed, leading to our freedom as a people. Once you are free, that means you are now the architect of your own destiny. Therefore, people shouldn't be coming and doing everything for you. You should do something for yourself. So independence celebration is good, but to some extent, as we have been doing it for 59 years, I think it's worth looking at, and then go back to the drawing board and then try to reframe it rather than we have been doing, because nothing is actually happening.
Sure. Yeah. Kon gaay ñu ko dégg no independent mën nañ ko celebrate but in a different way, because am na ñi nga xamantene gaay amuñ télé, am na ñi nga xamantene gaay amuñ radio, even some don't have phones, and some Gambians are still out there gaay ñu ngi fanaane ak xiif amuñ lekka amuñ dara nga xamantene ñu ngi dundee. So using that money in because independent, I think they can use it wisely to help the nation, to help the poor ones. Though we can celebrate independence, but not all the Gambian or all the nation go and gather at one place, wasting time, wasting money, all in the means of independence. Even I don't even think our forefathers are happy with the way they are doing it, because yes, still they have their children out there who are still staying hungry. Those that don't have enough resources, some don't even have food in their houses, water in their houses, nothing. They are still suffering. So using all that money, I think we can use it wisely to develop the nation. Thank you so much, Mr. Henry. It was very nice, and I'm very honored to have you guys in this platform. Thank you very much, and thanks to all Bright Star staff and everybody in Bright Star, both the nursery and primary and junior. I'm giving everybody a great thanks to all of you, and I'm greeting everybody in that place. And hopefully I will have you guys again in this platform. This will not be the end of this will not be the last, because I'm hoping to invite you guys again in this studio. Thank you once again, and thank you very much.